Hi guys, my name is Megan and today we're doing another bookish crafting video, and today we are making pin hoops. Today's video we are doing pin hoops, like I said. So these are really great for like if you have a whole bunch of like Disney pins, or if you have a ton of like bookish pins like I do. These are a great way to display them instead of, you know, having them sit around in like a cup like I usually do. And if you guys are like into crafting or, you know, just sewing or anything, you probably have a ton of like leftover scrap material that isn't really big enough for like a full-on other project. This is like a really good use for extra fabric. So like I have a ton of stuff left over from making some masks. So let's dive into this crafting video. All right, so the things you guys are gonna need for today's project are gonna be some fabric. This can be either fabric scraps or fabric that you get from the fabric store. Some embroidery hoops. So today we're doing a few, so I got a couple of different sizes. You can pick these up at Joann's or Michael's or any craft store really. You will also need either a straight edge or a ruler, some scissors, or a rotary cutter. And if you have a rotary cutter, I would suggest using a cutting mat. And then, you know, of course, your pins. So sorry in advance, I do have the window open. It's a little stuffy in here, so sorry about any extra noises. So for this project, I would definitely recommend at least ironing your fabric before you actually get started with your project, just to get out any little wrinkles or anything. And you really don't need a whole lot of fabric, depending on what size hoop you're using. This one in particular, I think, is the 7-inch hoop. So this is maybe a quarter of a yard, maybe. The whole goal of this is to use as little fabric as possible. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my embroidery hoop, you know, about where I want it over the fabric print that I like. So maybe something like that. Now that I have my hoop set where I want it and I have a pattern that I like, I'm gonna go ahead and use my straight edge. And I'm gonna wanna give myself, you know, a little bit of extra room on the sides. You don't wanna go right up against the hoop. You wanna give yourself maybe a little extra so there's some hanging out. And then since I am using a rotary cutter, I do wanna do this on top of a mat, but you could also do this with scissors. Just, you know, keep a straight line. So. Now that I have my cut piece, I don't really need these pieces right here, so I'm gonna just put those aside for now. Also, depending on the weight of your fabric, you may need to double up and use 2 pieces, just to, you know, give it some sturdiness, so when you push your pins through, it doesn't like sag. Now to just go ahead and put the fabric in here. So we're gonna loosen the hoop. So you wanna just unscrew this, hold the bolt. And you don't really need to undo it that far, just enough to make it loose. The 2 pieces come apart. You want to take the inner piece and put that on the bottom. You want to make sure your pattern is centered where you want it. And then you just place your hoop back over. And you want to make sure it's kind of snug in there right now. So then we just go ahead and tighten this back up. So now that it's in there most of the way, you want to just make sure that this is pushed in there evenly, pull out any little extra fuzz, and then you want to make sure your fabric is in there nice and tight, so go ahead and just tug on it a little bit at each of the corners. And then see, you might get a little bit of bunching up here, so you probably want to just go ahead and tug that like right around the edges. Just tug that a little bit, and then if it needs to be tightened anymore, just go ahead and tighten it. And then it should be all nice and tight in there. So then once everything is tightened how you like it, make sure the 2 hoops are even. And then we just go ahead and cut off all this excess, which I would definitely recommend scissors rather than a rotary cutter. So and then just cut along the back like so. There will be a little bit of extra fabric around the rim. That's totally fine. And then since this is like the top right here, I would go ahead and trim just that little extra bit so you don't really see it when it's hanging up. And voila, so you can't really see the whole extra little bits from the back. So this will be hanging up, and then we'll go ahead and put some pins in there. And if you guys are like sewers or sewists, you probably have a scrap pile, and these can be reused as stuffing for other projects. So these will go in my scrap bin and be reused for something else. Now that that's done, we get to the fun part where we put in all of these cute little pins. So this one I kind of wanted to go like a yellow theme, sort of, or like, you know, woodlands theme, kind of Alice in Wonderland. So you just push your little pin through there and you pop your little backing on, and voila, you've got a cute little pin board. This was such a fun project. So I've got a few more to do, so we're gonna do a little speed round, so stick around. And there we go, that's them done. So next up is putting all of these up on the wall. All right, so here is the finished product. I really like them, they're so cute. Alright, so that's it for this bookish crafting video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This was so much fun and I can't wait to see how these look up on my wall. So if you guys like this video, don't forget to hit the like button. If you haven't already and would like to, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. You can also hit the notification button. And if you'd like to follow me on social media for more bookish stuff and bookish content, check out the links down below. Alrighty, bye guys!